What's up, everybody? I've been digging through the new patch notes and community threads so I can walk you through what actually changed, why it matters, and how it might reshape play and modding. The update V1.2.5 brings a mix of user-facing tweaks, quality of life adjustments, and some deeper under-the-hood work aimed squarely at stability and mod compatibility. So whether you're a long-term save conserver or a mod author who spends more time in config files than in-game, there's something here that will change your routine. One of the most immediately noticeable things players will feel is the adjustment to autosave behavior. The devs have clearly heard the complaints about autosave-induced hitches when you're roaming your base or interacting with inventory, and the update reduces the frequency and aggressiveness of those automatic saves. That doesn't mean manual saving is obsolete. It just means the game will try to be less obnoxious about writing to disk at the worst possible moment, which should smooth out stuttering for folks on mid-range rigs or those running a lot of mods that touch save data. For combat balance, there's a significant nerf to psionic damage coming from wolves. The multiplier has been drastically lowered. If you've been running into encounters where psionic bursts feel unfairly punishing, this change softens that edge and should make those fights less swingy. It doesn't remove the threat entirely, but it dials back how quickly those encounters can ruin a run, which will please players who prefer methodical builds over reaction-heavy tanking. On the inventory and saving front, the developers increased the number of manual save slots to 6. That's a small but meaningful QOL win for completionists and experimenters. Having extra slots means you can keep branching between saves without constantly juggling files. Related to inventory transparency, the UI now shows depleted items in trading interfaces. Previously, you might have wondered why a vendor list looks sparse or why an item was missing. Now items that are out of stock still show up, so you can see what used to be available and plan accordingly. There's also a curious and delightful addition. The pan is now equipable. Yes, the humble pan has been promoted from mere kitchen decor to wearable gear. Whether you treat it as a quirky survival prop or a legitimate stopgap weapon, there's a new layer of flavor to loadouts. Vendor stock has been tweaked too. Certain lower-tier certificate stocks have been adjusted for specific vendors, which nudges early progression and accessibility in subtle ways. Those changes to trading and vendor inventories are small individually, but they add up to a smoother early game and clear economic signals as you move through the zones. For anyone who mods the game, and that's a lot of you, the meat of the update is the ItemBuilder API and safer item restoration routines. The devs put effort into making item creation, restoration, and load logic more robust, which directly addresses a major source of mod-caused save corruption and crash loops. Mod authors will want to review their item creation code because the new API encourages patterns that avoid dangling references and broken state during load. The loading logic itself received improvements aimed at reducing desyncs and misordered states between clients and hosts, which is a big deal for cooperative sessions. There have been long-standing reports of clients arriving at different game states after a shared session, and these fixes try to make that behavior more deterministic. While the update makes the backbone more reliable, the community is rightly cautious. Several edge case issues remain, and many of the old, hard-to-reproduce mod interactions haven't vanished overnight. Players continue to report oddities like ghost entities, sound quirks, and rare duplication bugs in workshop builds, so the best expectation is gradual improvement rather than a one-and-done cure. The patch also includes a raft of smaller bug fixes that address UI ammo count display problems, item dropping consistencies such as with Lordan's dog mask, and some other obscure freebies that tended to slip through multiplayer sessions. Those fixes will make the overall experience feel more polished and reduce moments when the game contradicts itself visually or mechanically. From a player's perspective, the net result is steadier gameplay, fewer surprise freezes, clearer vendor lists, a meaningful but not brutal nerf to a specific enemy damage type, and more breathing room for manual saves. From a modder's perspective, the update signals a push towards safer mod integration. The new APIs and load safeguards are invitations to clean up legacy code and adopt patterns that won't blow up someone's save file in the next patch. It's worth noting that community reports still list lingering issues, particularly around multiplayer mod setups. Some workshop mods that patch in extra systems or that perform custom serialization need updates from their authors to be fully compatible with the new loading logic. That's why you'll see workshop pages and mod threads lighting up with compatibility notices and small hotfixes rather than sweeping compatibility updates. Mod authors are cautiously testing and rolling changes as they validate them against the updated engine behavior. There are also subtle UX changes worth calling out because they affect everyday player choices. Showing depleted trader items makes it easier to track market trends and understand where to focus barter or quest activity, and the extra save slot reduces the need to juggle file names externally. The pan being equipable might be trivial for some, but for others, it's a fun new way to express playstyle and gather silly moments in footage. It's the kind of small, personality-driven change that builds character for the game world without breaking systems. All in all, the patch reads like a measured effort to smooth out the rough edges, while giving modders the tools to prevent their work from destabilizing other players' experiences. It's not a flashy content drop stuffed with new locations or massive feature rollouts, but it's a maintenance and quality of life release that addresses real friction points.